Hello, everybody, and we are just getting this Q&A started a few minutes early as I just wanted to test the audio levels and make sure everything is good. I wonder why there's an echo.
It's probably because I'm on too.
Okay, we'll just do the mic like we were going to do it before.
Okay. Do I need to turn this off?
Yeah.
Is this under my account?
That one's in yours. Hey, Coaster Creations. That one's in yours. Hey, Coaster Creations. All right, testing the audio level now. All right, testing the audio level. All right, good. Everything sounds good. So thank you guys so much for joining. And let me just kind of gonna edit a couple things here as we get started. Just putting the image on the video. Let's see. How's everybody's Sunday going so far? All right, Jasmine, you want to say hey real quick?
Hey guys, thanks for joining. We're so excited to do this Q&A, and we have, hopefully this live stream won't be super boring. we're trying some things, so hopefully this will be somewhat entertaining for you.
Ah, Trevor, you're from Atlanta, huh? So that's actually where my dad lives in Atlanta. He lives in Woodstock. So thank you, Coaster Creations. And Mavs, I know you. What was that? About a week ago, you sent pictures of Gwazi, man. I'm jealous, man. I wish I could ride Gwazi soon, 'cause that coaster looks amazing. All right, so one thing, and let me look up something too, is I know a couple people had asked a couple basic questions on a couple of the previous polls. Let me see which ones I posted that on. But also, Jasmine came up with the idea. You want to tell them the idea you came up with, too?
Yeah, so I had the idea that we would start our collab park together in this live stream. So,
oh, awesome. Hey, thank you for joining us from the Netherlands. We appreciate it. But yeah, so as Jasmine said, we're going to finally work on a park together. And so I think this will be fun.
We don't have really any like set plans or like how we want it to be yet. I think we're just kind of gonna start one and see where it goes. So, but if you guys have any suggestions during the Q&A, just put it in the chat and let us know, and we'll see what we can do.
Yep. I'm trying to find where a couple people posted a couple questions. Let's see. So somebody asked Planko or Plantco asked, "What's your guys' favorite theme park?" So, we got somebody from Austria as well. That's awesome. Thank you for joining. So, Jasmine, do you have a favorite theme park?
I don't really have a favorite theme park, but I do really like going to any Six Flags, which I know is not super impressive. But I'm just not as much of a theme park person as Michael is. I loved going to Disney.
Yeah. honestly, like I hope to get back to Cedar Point this summer because I'm working on a trip with the. I was gonna go with the college buddy, and he wasn't able to go. Now I'm trying to work on one with my brother. Um, to go to Cedar Point and Kings Island. But honestly, I think Kings Island might be my favorite. Like, I think everybody talks about Cedar Point as being just such an amazing coaster theme park, which it is. But Kings Island's top four coasters are legit. And then also if you throw the Beast in there at number five, especially with the Beast being retracked, that should be very, very good. And so as we get started on this, we are going to, like I said, we're going to start our collab park. So part of this is going to be us kind of just starting to kind of play with the map a little bit. And what map did we decide on?
Yeah, we decided on the city park.
Oh, hey everybody who's joined the live stream. And somebody from San Francisco. We got somebody from Germany. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. So what did you say, Jasmine?
Well, we said the city park.
Yes, we got the city park, and we don't know the name for it yet. You know what? I made a mistake. We need to do the custom biome. I made a mistake right there. That's awesome. San Francisco. So, Dream Paradox, are you a baseball fan at all? If so, do you follow San Francisco or Oakland? Because Jasmine's dad's a big Niners and San Francisco Giants fan.
Yeah. I was born in Oakland, but we moved when I was 5, so I don't have too many memories, but yeah, I need to go back and visit.
Yep. Yeah, so when you said we won, you're talking about the Giants, right? I'm assuming in San Francisco. I'm assuming Giants. Yeah. Now I have been to Busch Garden, Williamsburg, Trevor. We need to go to Tampa because we've never been to the one in Tampa.
Yeah.
And when I went in Williamsburg, that was back in 2015 when I wasn't huge into coasters at the time, and I went as part of a school trip because I'm a teacher. And so I didn't really fully get to experience it like a coaster enthusiast would. Like we rode Griffin, we rode Loch Ness Monster, Verbolten had too long of a line, stuff like that. So it was, I definitely want to get back. I know Jasmine wants to go to Busch Gardens Williamsburg too.
Yeah.
So talking about ground, what are your thoughts on some of the loadouts?
I just like to have some of the flowery.
The flowery kind, okay. So we know we need to keep it tarmac.
Yeah.
So let's go down here. So which one of these? I like the city tarmac because it kind of matches the asphalt.
Yeah, I like that flowery one.
This flowery one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Benjamin asked, what's better, Tampa or Williamsburg?
Yeah, so I've never been to Tampa, so,
Okay.
I mean, Tampa does look awesome. I feel like the overall coaster lineup at Williamsburg is probably better when you think about, like, some of the ones at Tampa are a little bit older. I mean, Williamsburg has Alpengeist and the Griffin, which obviously, the, Shikra is Shikra is the Griffin.
Trevor said, what about Big Bad Wolf?
Yeah, so Big Bad Wolf was actually closed when we went there because that's when, I guess this is one of the first couple of years of Verbolten or Vierbolten, however you pronounce it. Yeah, old does not equal good. Yeah. So you said using the light gray and, okay, you like using both those together. So the thing is, because I think sometimes we get caught up on, what grasses do we use? So honestly, the grasses for Wild Winds, I
like to use the deciduous grasses.
Yeah, just the deciduous grasses. It's just these two right here. The
or
combination.
That leafy one. Or go down.
Yeah, it's in the tropical.
No. Go back up. That one to the left. Or the right. Go back one. Yeah.
This? Oh, yeah. Well, the leaves. Yeah, we definitely need leaves, too.
The leafy one.
Alright, so let's do the leaves. And then here, I do feel like we need ground, but I feel like we need What's going on down there?
Oh, that's just the coffee thing.
Oh, sorry. I heard this noise downstairs. I'm like, what is going on?
Hey, Plip. Thanks for joining.
Plip Cam. What's up, man? And then I think we should do this kind of ground. Because I kind of like using that instead of the dead grass. Because I actually think that looks better than the dead grass. No, it's just, honestly, I think I just used both the deciduous grasses. Although, even though those are both the same right there. Let's see. Yeah, I think I just used both the deciduous grass details. There's one I like more than the other one. I think it's this one because it's a little bit less bright. And then what about for a rock? Is there a certain type of rock you want to use?
No. I don't care. I don't care too
Okay.
much about the rocks.
Honestly, I kind of like the alpine rocks. Alpine rock stuff a little bit.
Were there, did you have the other questions?
Yeah, so
Or where are they?
let's see. Sorry, we're getting caught up on the chat a little bit, which I appreciate all the people that are joining and asking questions. So Daniel, you said, I like Fantasialand. Yeah, I mean, Fantasialand would be awesome to go to. The theming around those coasters, I think that's the one with Heron and Fly, right? That just looks amazing. And then, yeah, Tampa. Yeah, I mean, I do want to go to Tampa, and I think it's now Mavs with Tampa. It seems like it's so spread out. Is it really that spread out? Because I mean, I know they've got the safari as part of it. Um, yeah, and then Williamsburg is good. Plipcam. Hey, AG110G, how are you doing, man? Um, yeah, I agree. Coaster Creations. I do wish we had more slots. Yeah. Well, this is awesome. How many people are joining? It's trying to get. Yeah. Hey, Soylent Bob, how are you doing?
Yeah, there's a bit of a lag, like
Oh yeah. There's like
between
a
this and like the
what we're
TV.
actually doing. Yeah, there's like a 10-second, 5-second lag or something.
Hey, Tommy.
Okay. Hey, Tommy, how are you doing? Yeah, you can't change after starting your park, Armin. You've got to choose it beforehand. So that's the
Yeah, you
only.
have to do some pre-planning.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And I do wish we had more slots because when I get to this one down here, kind of like you said, Coaster Christians, you like using both. I've never used both. Ooh, which UK park do we want to visit the most? That's a good one.
I have no idea. That's a Michael question.
I mean, I'd probably say Alton Towers. I think like if or real quick, let's finish.
Yeah, let's finish this. So what? Taking too long.
Yeah, well,
okay,
what do you want?
I'm fine with whatever.
You're fine with whatever? Okay. Let's do. I do like this one a little bit. Almost it's kind of like dead grass almost.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let's do this one. Because you can actually, one thing I've started doing is using one of these two in flower beds. Because from far away and above, it looks like it's actual mulch.
Okay.
So yeah, you good with all this?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yay!
Finally, yeah. So, Plipcam asked, which UK park do we want to visit the most? And as Alton Towers. I think Thorpe Park looks like they've got some awesome coasters too. I think with Alton Towers, like it's just the history of a lot of the coasters they have there, like Nemesis and obviously the Smiler and Wicker Man looks amazing. So that looks really cool. Now there was another question on the thing here by James that says, where did the two of you meet and how long we've been married?
I'll let you answer the question.
You don't want to answer that question? You don't want to talk about how we met? No, I'm just kidding.
Why do you want me to answer that particular question?
I'm just kidding. It's for both of us.
Okay, well, we met online. We met on the OkCupid app, which I don't know if that's still around, but and it's kind of funny because Michael is the only person that I've ever actually met on a dating app, like in person. I'd been on some dating apps before, but I never actually have like met anybody outside of the dating app. And what happened?
What happened?
I paid I paid $1 to see everyone who liked my profile, and he was on the list, but he hadn't actually messaged me. And so I think I liked his profile. He liked kind of some of the same music that I liked, and he said he liked to read. And so I was like, okay, I could.
Little did she know.
Yeah,
I don't really read anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't actually. No, I'm just kidding. He reads, but he doesn't really read as much as he used to read. But anyway, so then once that happened, we started chatting, and then he called me on the phone, and then we went to a Redbirds game.
Yeah, Redbirds is the AAA team. For anybody who knows about Major League Baseball, they're the AAA team for the St. Louis Cardinals here in Memphis. And so, we met online, and we got married in 2018. Did you say that? I might have zoned out. Okay. That. So it'll be 4 years this June. 4
years this year.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. And we got a lot to catch up on.
And we met in 2016, so.
Okay, so Trevor said, so Now, I have played PC some, not as much as a lot of people, just because we stream it through GeForce Now, so the um, so we don't get the full effects of it with like TMTK really slows it down and stuff. But I definitely think there are some really good positives about it on console. Like the quick load times are fantastic. Just not having to ever wait for anything. I mean, no matter how big the park is, you can load it up in about um, about 15, 20 seconds. So that part's nice. I definitely think, we're at a disadvantage with not being able to import custom audio and stuff. I mean, the build limit does stink. I mean, I guess you could look at it as it forces you to actually complete a park. So that part's good, but the actual limit does stink. Um,
Um, Tommy said Tommy said he thinks that you would be very surprised with Blackpool Pleasure Beach for your love of coasters.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about Blackpool. Sometimes I'm like, okay, what are all the parks in the UK? Icon does look awesome. Um, I think for me with coasters is like I like airtime more than inversions, and so I do feel like with how Alton Towers is built, a lot of those coasters seem to be more about inversions other than like Wicker Man and stuff. Which is why like hyper coasters are my favorite coasters, like B&M hyper coasters. But the only kind that really kind of get to me, honestly, inverted coasters can get to me if I ride them back to back. Um, but yeah. But no, I mean PC definitely has some benefits, and I do think consoles has some benefits as well. So it's kind of like whatever you're able to do. Because I mean, technically, console or PC does have a limit. It's just how much can your computer handle, right? Um,
Yeah.
so, anything else to get caught up on?
Um, you talking about the PC version? Gamer Willem said, "Which two grasses would you recommend for a realistic park?" I would think that the grasses and the deciduous one are pretty.
Yeah, those are the two I normally go with. So my answer is probably still just gonna be the same that was before.
I mean, all
And
the other ones are fine too, but
yeah,
I think I like the deciduous one. So you're just going right into the coaster.
I don't know.
You're
I
not
just
going
thought
into
of
the entrance or anything.
yeah. Oh, also as Flip said, dead stuff. So like using
Yeah,
which terrain paint was it that we just
leafy.
the leafy stuff. So and let me show you all this as well. Is this one thing I've noticed recently? I have seen a lot of PC players do this too. So with this grass right here, if you use that, it kind of from above looks almost like mud or mulch. So you can, instead of having to always use planters, like if you're doing planters, you can just use this grass as kind of the mulch, right? So that's a good option. You also have the dead grass here, which I actually like using this rock. Um, yes, I want to go on Gold Striker. That coaster looks amazing. I just wish Google Maps would actually update in-person looks soon, because Gold Striker hasn't been updated, I don't think. Or maybe it's I was thinking of Knight Rider, but Gold Striker and Knight Rider both look amazing. So this is the one that I like using for underneath the coasters, because to me that looks a little bit better than the dead grass, because it's got a little bit of, if you can see, a little bit of rock kind of mixed in there. So
Coaster Creation said doing coasters first is always what he does because of the space for theming other rides.
yeah,
That's interesting because I just go right into like the parking lot or the entrance building and just to try to get a feel of like the style, and then I'll start on like a coaster or something.
yeah. Well, my thought with this first coaster, which is obviously I did not do a good job of, it's a little bit too short, was creating, and we talked about, what do we want to do, and who knows if we'll actually keep this or not, but it's creating something that's like, almost like, I'm trying to think of an example, because I know some parks have it where it's like they've got this really small, kind of older wooden coaster at the top, but it kind of goes by the parking lot a little bit. But it's a smaller coaster. It's not meant to be anything necessarily too thrilling. Let's turn it to daytime. So, are
But
there
I
any other
guess
questions?
if you do make a coaster first, then you can kind of place it where it's gonna fit. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are there any other questions?
No, map said I go initial pathing and entrance first.
Yeah, that's what Jasmine usually does too.
Yeah.
And what coaster creations
He
say?
just said it may have something to do with being addicted to coasters.
Yeah, dude,
Making coasters.
you're not the only one. I'm the same way. So,
Were there any other questions on here?
let me see. I think there was another one. I think it was that one. No, I think
That's it.
I think that's it of all the questions ahead of time. But yeah, I mean, keep asking questions so we can answer too. Um, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a new pack update or anything. Just because, as Plip has said many times, which by the way, go check out Plip's channel for a lot of his speculation stuff. But all the other ones that we haven't gotten have been basically they've got some kind of name brand attached to them. Like Knight Rider or Back to the Future, and so I doubt we'll get anything new. So now it's kind of because we've basically got everything other than that, and they seem to be really intent on working on Planet Zoo and all the updates still there. Wow, I'm totally getting messed up here. Yeah, usually I don't build when anybody's watching, so.
What are your main concerns in making a coaster? Aesthetics, EFN, design, G forces?
Aesthetics and design. Like,
What's EFN? What's that?
I don't know. What is EFN?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you knew. Never mind.
Yeah, so like I think for me, whenever I build a coaster, I try to look at try to model it off something in real life.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, okay, is this realistic for that real life coaster? And I don't care about stats one bit. Whereas I think Jasmine's a little bit different on that.
I just look at the stats just for like excitement purposes, and then I'm not as realistic as Michael is with making coasters, but I do still try to I'll look at a POV of a coaster and try to get inspiration for whatever I'm building. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's more just I just like the realism aspect of it because I'm not big on, or I'm not good with theming. Like that's one area that I've really got to get better at. And so for me, it's kind of like having a realistic look. And like I said, I have no idea if we'll keep anything like this. I just kind of got started building something. Because it's funny, this week, Jasmine and I are like, okay, we got to come up with something for the park. And I was like, we kind of thought about it, and we're trying to come up with a theme or like what park can we get inspiration from. We haven't really come up with too much yet. So.
But we just decided on the city map because it's kind of a smaller map. So, are either of us interested in Planet Zoo coming to console?
Oh, yeah.
I would love it if Planet Zoo came to console. Like I've been playing on PC, but it's just not the same for me as far as like the game, like the mechanics and the controls.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it wouldn't be the same, but it's just easier for me to handle like a video game controller versus a mouse.
Yep. And let's see, I'm trying to get caught up and look at this. So, yeah, Soylent Bob said block sections kill ratings. Yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, if your coaster's super realistic, especially a smaller wooden coaster, your ratings are going to be terrible. And on a lot of coasters, like that's why I don't really care if it's all green or not, just because I'm trying to go for the realistic aspect. So for like this one, like that's got a really shallow hill because it's supposed to kind of resemble an older, not necessarily older, but a real old, but kind of a smaller wooden coaster. And then, let's see, yes, there's somebody else. So Trevor said rebuild PC. Yeah, so it's funny when you said how you built your PC. I don't know what any of that stuff means because I've never, ever, ever been a PC gamer. So, yeah, I have no idea what I mean, I know there's like graphic cards and stuff, but I'm really, really dumb when it comes to that stuff. So, yeah, let's see how it is real quick. Hey, 530. That's actually not bad. Look at the results. G-force 63 feet. Max speed 45 miles per hour. Yeah, hopefully So we are planning on visiting some theme parks this summer. As I talked about, hopefully going to be able to go to Kings Island and Cedar Point with either my brother or a guy I work with, and we're going to be going to Dollywood in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Gatlinburg for a couple days. One day we'll go to Dollywood, and then we're going to be going to South Carolina.
Carowinds.
Okay, yeah, we're going to go to Carowinds because I got family that lives in South Carolina, so we always go there we have a chance to go there for 4th of July, so we're going to go to Carowinds, so get to ride Fury 325 and stuff. And then I'm probably going to be visiting my brother in Chicago to go to a Cubs game, and I might go up a day early and go up to Six Flags out there. Because they got a launch coaster that's got the most forceful launch of any coaster in the world. So, yeah. Oh, you're going on the 19th. Okay. Yeah, I think I actually might buy a Platinum Pass for when we go to Cedar Point and Kings Island, if I go, because we'd be going to Cedar Point for 2 days, Kings Island for a day, and then we're going to be going to Carowinds later in the year, so it just makes sense for me to do that. Gosh, our cat's wanting to mess with everything now. Come on, buddy. Which, I think we should say before it goes on anymore that, this is such a great community, and we really appreciate all the support that everybody's given, and we definitely wouldn't have gotten this far if it wasn't for Plip Cam and Tommy CM and Iron Matty, and as I remember, I think Tommy CM was the first person I reached out to and looking to start a channel, and then reached out to Plip as well, and then Matty, and we've all just kind of really helped each the 4-person train really kind of helped each other as this game has become more and more popular and stuff, and just a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. Let's see, is there anything else to get caught up on?
No.
So any other questions anybody has?
And if you have any suggestions on our park that we're doing.
Smoothing method, yeah. So I just do 3 pieces at a time like this, which that's kind of 4. And everybody smooths differently. So, I know, like, Coaster Creations, who I think is still in the chat, he is the man at 4-meter coasters. And, dude, I don't know how you do it, man, because you got so much patience. But I just go 3 at a time. Sometimes, and I don't know if this is the best way to do it, I'll kind of take a whole section and kind of smooth it out to make it not as kind of, I guess, pointy at the top. I don't know if that's the correct phrasing for it, but yeah, so I'll kind of go 3 pieces at a time and just move along the track, and then do that for the whole coaster and then come back, which that actually might be too tight of a turn.
Batreg said, are we ever going to start doing Let's Play for different games on our channel?
I think we've tried some here and there, and it just doesn't pick up the views, and so we're like, just kind of might as well just like stick with what we know.
I just don't have a lot of time for making videos for things right now, but maybe in the future. Like, if Planet Zoo came out, I probably would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. Flip, you've only built 1 coaster this year? What? Yeah, and so then I just go back over the track. And I don't necessarily always smooth out the entire layout. Sometimes I'll do it in pieces, but this is kind of how I go about doing it. I don't really ever do 4-meter pieces because I just don't have the patience for that. And just kind of depending on where the coaster is and the layout, sometimes I'll extend the track piece and sometimes I'll shorten it. Like this, for this type of coaster, is probably a little bit too narrow, so I'm just going to try to flatten it out just a little bit. And I am by no means an expert. Like, I really just kind of got back into coasters when I played this game, and that's maybe what I can do at some point is load up my first ever park and just we can see how terrible it is compared to now.
Yeah.
Because my coasters were quite a bit rough. But yeah. Hey, which by the way, Batreg, you did the I think it was like a month ago. You had it was like a giga coaster. It was like a hyper giga coaster you did that had it was the red coaster. Dude, the lighting you did on that is insane. I never looked at that at night. And how you did so it's like those old hypers had before they have gosh, I can't even speak now, the extra support, the piping, or wow, I can't speak at all. It has that.
What are you talking
I
about?
really can't describe it. Basically, the supports she did on that were really cool and really good, and the lighting that she did was fantastic. So let's see. So I saw we had some other comments. Anything? So Coast Creation said do an autocomplete method. Yeah, it does smooth out tight transitions for sure. So do you autocomplete like, so instead of doing 4 meters, I guess you just autocomplete in between certain transitions, or kind of how do you, like what's the whole method for autocomplete, I guess. So I'd love to see you make a video on that, because I know you've done a video on your 4 meter before. So.
Are we theming?
Not yet. We gotta come up with how we want the front of the park to look.
Yeah, we gotta come up with like what the style of the park's gonna be.
Yeah.
But
Actually, pretty
I don't
smooth.
know. I guess. What would you think if it's like a city park in a city? What would you think that would be?
Yeah, and almost like, I don't want to necessarily say fun fair, but I thought more about kind of doing like if we have it on a smaller scale,
Yeah.
where maybe the rides there are like if there are coasters, smaller coasters like this
budget,
one, or
like
yeah,
a
like
budget park.
more of a budget for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this.
Okay. What?
I like your little coaster.
You do? Yeah, it's pretty smooth for one pass too. So.
Can we just do like an outline for?
Yeah, you wanna?
No. You do the outline.
Oh, I do the outline. Okay.
For the parking lot, just so we can like mark it off. Like,
yeah. Let's see.
Not like the whole thing.
Lost Boys movie. But... Cheap and nasty canvas banner. All right. So, I guess the only bad thing about this one is actually no, we can't extend that terrain if we wanted to. We can extend the terrain there if we need to. So I was thinking, you're talking about for our parking lot? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just like an outline of it. Like how big is it going to be?
So what if we had the parking lot kind of head this way, right? And then, so I know a park I looked at before that was kind of like a fun fair style that I liked. It didn't really have much parking over here. This was almost like more a turnaround and stuff. And then it kind of had the main parking area just up to the side here.
Uh-huh.
So we could do something like that. So we kind of have the entrance and exit in terms of like where the cars enter and exit the parking lot over here. Something like that.
Okay.
And so this would be more kind of for buses and stuff, or for drop off.
And then like the entry point. The park is still like right there.
Yeah, it'd be like right here, or it could actually be here if we needed to. Because what we could do is we could actually raise the train here a little bit and have this kind of go underground and come up here, and it'd be like that subway thing that some people started doing, where they come up through the subway instead of actually walking like across the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then we could have the overall, overall outline of the park have it be more compact than we've maybe done before with stuff. So have it maybe be like here.
Really?
Or at least start with trying to just keep it.
Small.
Well, I mean, we could start there and always expand if we need to.
Okay.
But something like that. Because I know that, like, for example, if we... Let's actually work on that now.
Perhaps a New York style station.
That's a good idea. I'd have to look up how that looks though, but let's see. So if we just kind of move out this train a little bit.
Armin said, do you like fun fairs, and what's your favorite in-planet coaster?
Favorite?
What's a fun fair?
So a fun fair is almost like a fair style park.
Oh.
Like I'll be honest, I'm not big on fun fairs because I like thrills, I like amusement.
I mean, I always have like a Ferris wheel and like a little bit of the classic rides, just because I think they're, I don't know, they're like classic and for like family style park, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess I need to
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm trying
Oh,
to go under the ground so then the pathing can come up over here. So basically, all the guests we'll work on that later. Because I'll need to figure
okay.
that out. But the idea would be that they wouldn't actually, they would essentially they would spawn essentially over here, even though they're spawning there.
Oh.
They would walk underneath.
Yeah.
Like it's what Maddie's kind of done on his recent one. Turn tunneling on. Oh, that's what I need to do. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Tunneling on. There we go. How could I forget that? Thank you, Mavs fam. Which, by the way, Mavs, I love your new Gulpy style park. It looks awesome. Let's see. Let's expand this out.
Gamer Willem said, do you agree that flat rides such as the air race and the... Oh, my thing timed out. What did you say?
Do you agree with me that... Hold on a second. Why is this not... There we go. Flat rides such as Air Race and Disco Coaster in the game shouldn't be Force themed. I wish that the Disco didn't have the Genie theme. Yeah, totally agree. I don't think anything in the game should be Force themed because then it really kind of hurts your ability to actually theme around it. Like that, I guess that's the one you're talking about. I always forget the name of it, but that one that is like the Genie Magic Carpet. It's like it's a really cool ride, but then it's just forced into a theme that is like I don't really know how I'd end up using that theme.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it'd be something like, hold on. Let me turn angle snap on. There we go. Yeah, so if you're ever struggling to get your path straight.
Yeah, the one with the witch. Yeah, I hate that one. No.
Cats are always doing something. So why is that not a... Let's see, okay, so... There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get this ironed out. There we go. So then when it's something like... Oh, that didn't connect. Hold on. The pathing system in this game is annoying sometimes. So it'd be like, which that might be too big of a path for it, but essentially we would cover this up with
the
subway thing. So I might need to do 4-meter pathing for that, so that this part's not actually seen. They actually come out over here.
That's a good idea.
So that's kind of the idea, and then maybe this area. So maybe have the entrance kind of facing this way, almost, like at an angle.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of the idea. So let's see. Let me look back on this subway idea. Let's see. Yeah, Wicker Man. Wicker Man looks awesome, especially for not being that big of a coaster either. By the way, Mystic Timbers. Has anybody else ridden Mystic Timbers at Kings Island? That coaster is awesome. I think that's my favorite coaster. Diamondback's also amazing. Yeah, so you want to play around with anything?
Well, okay. What do we want to start off with? Or let's see. Where's the subway thing? Is it called Subway?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, we definitely need a less wide path.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, now we know.
Or, you know what? Or we could... Yeah, actually, yeah, we know. So
what? Or do you want me to, like, make, like, a fake one?
I mean,
or
we
like
can. No, I don't know how you'd make a fake one. Hold on, I'm going to get my cat down real quick.
Okay, so... Our cats are being bad, basically.
Yep.
Okay, I think we should have maybe a city brick or part of the entrance, since it's like a city. So are you thinking like this comes out to where like tickets are gonna be?
Yeah, like the main plaza area.
Okay, but then like a building. How do we do a building?
So like thinking it still would kind of be diagonal to where we kind of marked out the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, water pass. Definitely take up less and place a water pass on the grid. I guess. Oh, somebody said like a city hall almost.
So you want the building to be outside of, or do you want the building to be, or do you want this to be inside the building or outside the building? Outside the building?
Actually, no. That's what we could do. Is they come up through a building. We can make like a
Okay.
building where guests enter through.
I'm just gonna do like a basic, like outline, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're not really going to build too much detail right now. We're just trying to get the idea for it summed up. They both have cats because our cats randomly just start whining, and this one's one to play with the popcorn ceiling.
Yeah, making a mess. Okay.
Yeah, we're starting a new park that we're going to be working on together.
Grand Central Station style. I don't know if we're that good of builders.
Yeah,
For a Grand Station style.
So you're just mapping out now.
I'm just mapping out. Well, yeah, I'm just trying to shape. Like, I'm just trying to visualize this right now. Okay.
So I guess what I was visualizing a building is not a building that tall, that big necessarily, because that would be like the plaza area.
Okay.
So like,
okay, let me start over. How about you do whatever shape you want, and then I'll do.
So let me just map out what So my idea was maybe.
This is part of the reason why we haven't done a park together yet, is because we have different ways of doing things. And if you can't tell, I'm the laid back one.
So like this would be plaza. Like that would be just cement. Like no buildings.
Okay.
Maybe a building there in the middle, and then we would have
the
buildings, kind of the entry area right here, essentially.
I got you.
So it's still like a normal theme park entry in a way. It's just at a corner here. And so then you kind of got the parking areas, and maybe this would actually be sectioned off to where. Actually, maybe this would be the entryway over here, kind of coming in this way. Actually, I don't know, with like ticketing and stuff. So all of the cars come in this way, and they have to leave out that way or something.
Okay.
As an idea.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, might have to adjust the coaster then.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, because then the coaster.
Well, I could adjust the coaster to basically make it just out and back instead of turning around here. Just kind of go this way and turn around and come back.
Okay.
But we're at least getting an idea for a start of it.
Okay. I'm going to look up some buildings really quick.
Yeah. So it's definitely getting a start to it. So let me save this.
We've been on live stream for like 40 minutes, and I feel like we haven't done anything on here.
Yeah. So this might actually be... I'll give you, while Jasmine's looking some stuff up, I will show you guys real quick. Still want you guys to watch some of the episodes, but since you're on the live stream, show them how Wild Winds ended up turning out. Hold on. Hold on, we gotta put one.
Oh my gosh. The cats are running around. I might put them up.
Yeah. Smooth and turn seconds for general smoothing. Okay. Yeah, no, I have like at certain times kind of preserved certain components of it. So I'm basically done with Wild Winds now, and still a couple episodes. Yeah, the sign fit, and so Mavs made this sign over here, Twisted Outlaw.
Oh yeah, that looks really cool.
So, still hope you guys watch the new episodes whenever they come out, but I'm definitely a little bit ahead. But yeah, I do need to work with smoothing at times of like preserving the element and stuff. And so really happy with how this turned out. I think my favorite views are kind of looking here, kind of up at the wing coaster. Definitely got some Wild Eagle inspiration on that. And then I also think here, when you're looking down here at Stormkeeper, kind of seeing, if you see from this angle, you can see 3 different coasters. So,
Are you oh, nothing.
oh, well, you said you're gonna look up some photos of stuff. Um, yeah, so I actually, Flip, I got this idea from Commando Santa's series. I saw he did something like this for his entrance.
He said, "Close my eyes, don't want spoilers." See, you're spoiling it.
My bad. Okay. But yeah,
well,
so
you are doing episode. You are doing it.
yeah, we are gonna do thing. But I did post some pictures online. I was just really happy how it turned out. I basically got everything I wanted to in the park, and so yeah, so that's just a quick little spoiler alert for the
He's going
11 or
out
12 of
for
y'all. Yeah, well, there's people have been on the live stream the whole time. So
Well, my tablet's about to die, so.
okay, real quick, where is it? Okay, this is my first ever theme park that I made in the game. Yeah, so one thing I've realized too is I think it's just a matter of like switching up the way you kind of turn trees and stuff. But if you're on Google Maps, which I'm sure most of you have looked on Google Maps to try to get inspiration, man, when you see trees, like it's just a woods of trees. Like they're so compact and stuff. So this was my first park I ever made.
It's not bad.
No, it's just now looking at it, I'm like, I tried.
Like, what the heck were you doing?
Yeah, I'm like, what in the world was I doing? I was trying way too hard to get like.
What is going on with this red coaster around the? What is that?
Oh, I couldn't. I was trying to fit a wooden coaster here, and so I'd already made the red coaster, and I mean, it's just I've just gotten way. I mean, we all improve with the game, right? So
that's
it's just
really funny, actually.
So I think this is like which I still kind of like how this area kind of turned out right in here, but yeah.
What was this called? Is this on the channel?
Thrillville or something? No, I mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember this one.
And then this coaster is probably the worst one I made. It's like.
It can't be worse than mine, though. I mean, mine were really bad.
Yeah, but I was still trying to learn at this time. I tried to build yeah, so. It is what it is.
What's going on with the trees?
What trees?
All the purple.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, not great.
I wish we could pull mine up, but they're actually not on here.
Yeah. There's one thing I did though that I did like on a previous park. I didn't necessarily like how the park turned out, but so Avery Forest, that was a fun one to do. Oh, my bad, Gamer William. I'll do that in a second. You said check with grasses and wild winds. My bad, I'm sorry, I just saw this. I did like how, when I made this one, how this part kind of turned out. This kind of massive kind of main walk in this. But then as you see, I was just too obsessed with trying to make really, really big coasters at first because they're not realistic at all, and way too many supports.
Oh, so, I do remember that G-Force. I do remember that.
Yeah. So it's yeah, But I'm gonna go back to real quick to Wild Winds because check out the grasses I used. Love the carnival games. Yeah. No, I do need to do a challenge park. I've never done one of those. I know you were working on challenge park for a while.
Yeah, I stopped working on it. It was too. I was gonna say it's too challenging. Actually, I really liked it because I like the budgeting aspect. But it is like definitely harder than.
Oh, I can't click on the train.
Oh, you can't.
Hold on here. There's a way to get around that. Just load up one of my saves.
How long do you think we're gonna be on?
Just probably about 5-10 more minutes.
Well, I wish we'd done more progress on our park.
Yeah, I think it's it's fun to make millions, yeah. If only it was like that easy in real life, right? Talking about the challenge park, making money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So the terrain, so this is what it looked like before I replaced everything back in the park at the end. As you can see, all the coasters are gone. Um,
We're on
reason,
PlayStation.
yeah, PlayStation 5. So it's these two grasses here, which I think are in the deciduous grass. Like, it doesn't actually say the name, but I think, yeah, I just don't like how bright that one gets. So I normally tend to go with this one more
Yeah.
so. I feel like that one's just a little too bright. Um, Yeah, now I know there's another way too that I'm going to learn about. Somebody's taught me, but basically, just to kind of, since you're on here, just give you a quick rundown. Um, so, one thing I did was I saved a blueprint, and I saved 4,000 scenery pieces and 5 coasters. And what it did, actually, let me raise it up a little bit. And as long as you're in the same map, it could even be on a different save file, but as long as you're in the same map, it allows you to replace them where the orientation's the same. And so this actually works out where I can just, you got to get a good camera view, and so I'm using this RMC as kind of my guide, and and then it gets a little bit tedious trying to get it perfect, and so the height's a little bit off. And the key too is you want your pathing to be, usually I like having a couple straight pieces of path because it's easier reconnected that way. And so it just gets a little tedious. See, as that's not perfect. And so you got to kind of inch it. There we go. Maybe this. There we go. So that's close enough. So then I've placed it, and I can see based off these lights that are here before, it's a little bit off. It's not perfect. So what I would do is I would go back and move each one individually. But then it allows me, because I was right at the limit before, so now it allows me to go about 30% over the limit. So just a way to
I wonder if
try
it
to use it.
disconnected because it says started streaming less than 1 minute ago.
No, it says that the whole time.
Oh.
We're still on, yeah. It's just when you get your computer pulled up, it's just done a little bit differently. But yeah, so does anybody else have any other questions for us? Yeah, Trevor, we broke down and bought a PS5 last year. We were trying to wait until they're actually. So how do you get the spacing on the queue lines when using the grid, like where it turns? So you're talking about the. I guess I'm confused a little bit on that. The spacing. Do you maybe know what was meant by that question? How do you get the spacing on the queue lines when using the grid, like where it turns? So do you mean where it turns like a, making like the rectangle, like a boxy shape instead of a rounded shape, or?
I'm not sure. Thanks for joining, Plib.
Yeah. Anything you're working on right now, Plip? Because I know you said you're building.
I think he's leaving.
Oh, okay. My bad, Plip. I guess I misread that. Yeah, Nicole, if you would, yep. Oh, they can hear Kitty whining.
Yes, our cat.
That's Lily. He's a talker. Yeah, I mean, I just like placing stuff on grids. I don't. It's just a lot easier to, a lot easier to manage the pathing and stuff. Also, another cool little trick is if you, and I'm not gonna be. This takes a while if you want to get it perfect, but if you take a track ride. And you can do this, and then you want to extend this as far as you can go. And this is a way to try to get slopes. So like maybe, just a couple degrees, having it go like this. Because, a lot of times you got some kind of sloped paths. But it's hard to get the sloping with like your paths perfect. So then you take the terrain, and you want to lower the intensity. And it takes a while to get it perfect, as I'm still trying to work with it that way. But then you'll take this, and you want to get where it's barely covering.
Bye, Dream Paradox Magic.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Which I'm just doing this quickly, so this is not going to be anywhere near perfect. But the idea is to.
What are you doing?
Hold on, you'll see. You'll see. For people who are confused, hold on, give me a second.
I'm confused.
I know it'll make sense in a second. So And you can, so something similar to that, but you really should just be covering the thing. Then I'm going to smooth it out. And so what's going to happen is it's going to try to make it fairly level. And like I said, this takes, if you want to get it perfect, it takes a while. But then you can raise it up like this. And then with how wide I did, it's going to have to be a lower path. Tunneling off. I'll answer your question in just a second, Nicole. Or answer, yeah, so let's see. So then if you place it this way.
So there are easier ways.
Oh, there are easier ways to do this? Oh, okay. Teach me.
What?
So now you get somewhat of a, which is not perfect, but you get somewhat of a more level path going up. So that's the point of what I was trying to do. Because the problem with doing the flat into terrain is it kind of creates rough kind of edges where it meets with the pathing both ways. But Nicole said when it's a zigzag queue, the space between squares. I know web gaming uses them a lot. It gives you space for custom fencing. Honestly, I just place down. So like if we've got a queue and something like this. Like that? Well, I think that's what she was talking about. Something like this. You know, if you got a queue or whatever the queue might be, right? I'll just
automatically leave space.
Yeah, it'll automatically leave space, but then I'll just take a ceiling piece, and usually a firehouse roof is a good one, and you can make it lighter. Well, however light you want it to be. And then just cover it up so it looks like it's still the same kind of material or pavement that's used. And then you can then put the fencing where the missing parts are. Oh, you said yours always connects. Are you on a grid when you're doing it that way? Because when you're on a grid, it shouldn't connect unless it's like if you're going from a ride, it shouldn't connect unless it actually meets up with a path. Or actually, nothing should connect on a grid unless it's pieces from the same grid. So, I don't know. I've never run into that issue, so I'm sorry I can't help out more. Maybe, yeah. Sorry I can't be more help on that because haven't dealt with that issue. Yeah, I have seen your Gulpy World, and it definitely doesn't have stairs, but it looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna do a spotlight on that at some point. Once I get back into filming more of those. So as we kind of wrap up the stream, does anybody have any final questions? Yeah, that's right. Standard path will connect, but your queue paths don't. All right, well, we thank you guys so much for joining.
This park looks terrible.
It does look terrible, but it won't once we get started.
So how? What are we doing with this? So are we gonna?
What are your thoughts on this?
Weekly update? Are we gonna? What do you think?
I would think once we get started, do a weekly update, and it could be.
Yeah.
We'll decide on the format of it. Like, do we want to kind of do speed build?
I think we need to do some more planning.
Yeah, we definitely need to do more planning, but I think we want to get a couple filmed before we actually release them. Oh man, I wish we could.
We aren't doing a UK trip for a long time. Probably.
I wish. So you say, can you do a turn? What do you mean by a turn? Kingman, what are you asking about there when you said, yeah. All right, thank you so much for joining, Trevor. And thank you so much to everybody helping us make it to 1K. But yeah, as we're saying, we'll probably do a weekly update on this whenever we do actually really get started on it. But we wanted to build something together where we'll both take our expertise or the areas that we really excel in this game and create a beautiful park together.
We would have had something else to show you, but I guess not. At least not right now.
Oh, smooth the turn with banking. Okay. Smooth the turn with banking in it. So I guess I'll just do this for fun real quick. I feel like RMCs are really good for this. So Yeah, I usually do 3 sections. Sometimes it depends, and I'll give you an example of where it'll change just a little bit. So let's just do a RMC for a second.
Thanks, Coaster
Yeah,
Creation.
thank you so much, Coaster Creations. Looking forward. Hey, by the way, Coaster Creations, I did record a tour or a spotlight of your 4 meter Intamin you made a little bit back, because I think you did a great job with that. Plus, being able to um, how you use the glitch to be able to have basically an extra car in the transfer track. So let's take an inversion for a second. So if we're going to do 90, 180, let's say we want to do a stall, right? So you want to keep it on 180 for a second. So usually when I'm banking, I'll overbank it because I know that we're going to have to smooth it out some essentially. And so, RMC likes to do these where they kind of do that, but then they level it out a lot. They level it up when it's kind of still elevated and you have a small hill here, and then you would maybe go back down or something like that, right? So how I usually tend to go about smoothing this is I know it's if you start from right here, it kind of tends to maybe have it start turning a little bit too soon. And sometimes if you do too much of it, like it's going to start shaping that middle part. So usually to edit this, which I'm really not great on the stalls yet, just because trying to figure out a good way to kind of smooth it out. But then I might just take these two right here and just smooth those two to just try to get those two more smooth. And the same thing there. But then here I'll do 3 and 3, and then I'll come back 3, and then maybe do these two again. Something like that. And then on here, sometimes if it's, I'll do 3 and 3, but sometimes I might take a whole section as well. And so if I realize that, sometimes you could take an entire section and just hit it once or twice to kind of smooth it. If you also realize that it kind of unbanked it a little bit, you can kind of bank it more or unbank it however you want to kind of set it up that way. I wonder how smooth this is for just doing this once. You do something different? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everybody does it differently. So I know Jasmine does a little bit differently than I smooth it out, and Coaster Creations does a little bit differently. And so everybody's got their way of smoothing. And so it's kind of what best works for you. Hey, Ray, how are you doing, man? Which, by the way, Ray, that invert you just posted pictures of looks insane. And I also love the coloring, because that's not coloring you see too much on coasters. But yeah, so that's just a little bit on how I approach smoothing. And I am by no means an expert. I'm still getting better, trying to get better with my coasters. So thank you guys so much for all the questions. Anything else, Jasmine?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. As we said, thank you so much for helping us reach 1,000 subscribers and just all the support and stuff. And we always love and value your input. And thank you guys so much. And stay up to date for releases when we'll be talking about this park that Jasmine and I will be working on. Oh, can you share the same parks or rides with game?
No. I mean, I just mean like cross console.
Yeah, we can't do cross console, but what we can do is we can like whoever plays PlayStation can share the parks and stuff. Like because I know them.
Oh yeah.
Like
with the workshop.
Yeah, so for PC players who don't know, this is what the Frontier Workshop kind of looks like. It's a lot like the Steam Workshop. But I think it's a little bit more because obviously you're on a controller, so you're not on a computer, so it just works just a tad bit differently if it ever loads.
I don't think it connects to PC. I think PC is the same. PC is its own.
No, yeah, I got you. I know that. I just mean.
No, I mean that's what.
Right, and no, but I was showing because a couple players on here are PC players. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we can go and look at parks, and this is usually what I'll do every couple days. Go look at parks and see. Like that one looks pretty. Autumn Adventures. That's an older release, but yeah, it looks pretty. So I'll kind of go through and see different stuff like that. Okay, yeah, just let us know when your park's finished, and we'll definitely take a look at it. But yeah, now we're actually going to end the stream this time.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Sorry that we didn't really build more. This is poor job on my part of planning. But yeah, definitely going to be working on a park together, which will be a lot of fun.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, so thank you guys for all the support, and thank you, Quacken's Coaster channel. And we'll see you guys later.